All right, so we are back now with the entertainment section, and we're just going to get right into it. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff today. TV shows, a little bit of movies, a little bit of maybe video games, definitely some albums. We got 2 albums actually to talk about. But we're going to start out actually with the TV show, which a lot of people have already heard about. And we usually try to go for stuff that is a little bit unheard of, that doesn't have enough recognition yet. But it was hard not to talk about this TV show. It's won so many awards recently, the cast and everything. It's a lot of young actors, so I've gained a lot of respect also for them and to see their growth. We're talking about The Bear. Yeah, we're talking about The Bear. And for most people that know me, I can't cook at all. I'm not somebody to be trusted around the stove at all with that. So you ever get food from me, you're playing with your life. That is no hesitation with that. So I have enjoyed watching the TV show because it really has made me appreciate chefs and just them making food into an art with that. And I know that you cook a lot. And so I know that you probably have felt that way when you're making, certain dishes, certain recipes. So
yeah, well, it's funny. I've actually never seen the show, and
I gotcha.
I've heard a lot about it. I've seen some interviews of some of the cast. They say yes, chef, and like that kind of stuff. But yeah, I love to cook. I cook. We try to cook at least 3 to 4. We do 3 nights a week. Sometimes it'll be more, but we do HelloFresh. So shout out HelloFresh. Shout out, no free shout out. Yeah, I mean, that way we're not wasting food.
Exactly.
I don't like grocery shopping, but I do love to cook. So having that, and I've learned actually a lot about what goes with what.
Yep.
How to, if you get into a certain spot, what you need to do to add a little bit of cream, what you can do, things like that. So just really just sort of learning and perfecting my craft for what my family wants. Because I think with cooking, you
can be creative too. With it.
You can be creative, but you also have to sort of build out what your family enjoys.
Right.
To be a good cook, there's so many variables that go into it. It's what your family likes, who your audience is.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I love cooking. So
yeah, no, and I think too, because me coming in, I've always appreciated cooking because, of course, my parents, they can cook basically anything and it's always really good. I mean, nothing beats a home cooked meal when it comes to that. So, but even too, just seeing, which I'm not going to say some of the cast members because I don't want to ruin anything if you haven't seen it, because some of the cameos in season 2 are unbelievable with that. So you got to wait to see it. I want to encourage you to see it with that, to build up a little bit. And I think too, finish the first season, definitely get to the second season, because that's when you're going to be really, really hooked with it. So the album though that we're going to be talking about, because Caleb also has an album for us too with that. Too. So he has a show. My apologies for that. Go ahead and go, my man.
All right. So I was going to, when Sam first asked me to come on the show, I was like, all right, I gotta get on my, on my entertainment level. I gotta figure out what I'm going to, and so I was thinking I wanted to talk House of Dragon. They just came out with their new trailer for this summer, the new season coming in. So if you haven't watched House of Dragon or Game of Thrones, love that. But I decided against talking about that.
Okay.
I decided that my show is actually going to be Bluey.
Okay.
And what a perfect time for a little cameo.
Okay.
Being a father, first time father. Come on, Rue.
We may have another special guest.
Special guest.
You guys are lucky today.
This is Rue's first podcast. You say hello.
Let's go.
You say hello. But yeah. You ain't talking in the podcast? Hey.
Oh man, look, y'all don't know how lucky y'all are to see that and everything.
But realistically, Bluey, if you're not a parent or you have little kids in your life, you probably haven't seen Bluey. You probably heard of it. Mm-hmm. And before I had a child, I really hadn't heard of Bluey. Mm-hmm. And I kid you not. Is there 3 seasons? 40 something episodes a season.
Man.
Yeah, they're only 8 minutes. But it's made by the Australian government, put out in collaboration or something like that. And I kid you not, as a cartoon, it is the most wholesome. I've learned how to be a good dad in certain situations. I mean, it's a lot deeper than just a kid's show, in my opinion. And sometimes whenever Rue falls asleep, I find myself watching 3 or 4 episodes after, just for myself. And Shelby feels the same way. But yeah, so if if you are in that time of your life where you're getting married, you want to have kids, or you have kids and you haven't checked out Bluey, I mean, I know that sounds sort of like immature of me, but like
Doesn't at all.
it's one of the cartoons where I actually learned something. It's like wholesome family content. It shows these different situations that a family is going to go through in life and sort of how to navigate that. So my shout out for a show is Bluey.
Yeah, and I mean, shout out to all the new parents out there. A lot of our friends are, starting to just now have kids, which is amazing. They're starting their own lives with their family. They're bringing new life into this world. So, shout out to all the young parents out there. We got your back. We know, it's a learning process and everything. It's okay to not have, it all together. And, maybe you're not supposed to know everything about being a parent as soon as you have a child. That's okay with that. But we appreciate y'all, for once again, just bringing new life into the world and surrounding us with that happiness. And so, Caleb, you want to go ahead and talk about your album too, though?
Album. Okay. So, with all my boys, we're in a bunch of these group messages together, and I can always count on my boys to send, what songs just came out, what albums just came out, what I need to listen to. And so I sort of fell off of that, not sort of being in when it comes to a lot of the, the new music and stuff I need to listen to. But, I've always been a big fan of MGK.
Oh, yeah.
Kelly. So today he actually dropped a 10-song
Let's go.
album or EP with Trippie Redd called Genre Sad Boy. I've only given it one listen, and you know how albums go.
Oh yeah, you're gonna give it 2 or 3 more. Yeah, you got to. Yeah.
So that'll be my shout out. I like how MGK has went through his rap phase,
Bonnaroo,
the rock, the hard rock, or the rock, and then now he's sort of in that sad boy, like still a little bit of rap, but just from what I've only given the album one listen this morning because it came out at midnight. But that's going to be my album to check out.
It's like kind of similar to how like Juice WRLD kind of had like a sad boy, but he was more like the rap side and everything. It's a certain type, like you've almost created your own genre whenever you do that. So, but yeah, man, I got a pretty good album too to shout out, and I've just now started listening to this artist. So I'm a total noob when it comes to this artist. So y'all please don't clown me on that, but. It's Noah Kahan, actually. He's released 3 albums from what I've seen on Spotify. I'm sure he's released more than that. But since I have started listening to him, the Forever version of Stick Season is unbelievable. I was late to the game. I've listened to his 2 other albums with that. But man, Stick Season is really, really good. If you have not heard it's going to be the Forever version. If you've not heard the features on it, Casey Musgraves, Post Malone, Brandi Carlile is on the album. I mean, it's unbelievable. And there's some artists that I just now found myself starting to listen to with that. And I love, meeting new artists and, finding those artists through artists that I have already been listening to. So I would encourage you to listen to it. It's more of like a folk mixed with kind of a mix of rock in a way. It's almost, once again, kind of its own genre, kind of similar to how the Post Malone new album is. It's kind of his own lane. And I saw that he's also producing most of his, music now and not even he may not even be relying on producers or anything like that. Because I know that certain artists, they don't know how to produce. Some people, they get all of their stuff produced for them. But Post Malone, he must have just said, you know what, screw this. I'm about to just start doing my own thing. So, shout out Post Malone too. We're about to see you at Bonnaroo. It's going to be fun. But yeah, this is the end of the section right here. We just wanted to keep it a little bit short because we try to keep it about 7 to 10 minutes each part for this. But we're going to come back with the sports section because we live in Tennessee and our teams are going off right now. So we got to talk about that. We will be right back, though. Stay tuned.